Hi, my name is Lorena Sadie. I'm the founder and managing attorney here at Sadie Law Group. I wanted to talk today about assets and bankruptcy because it seems like people can get a little confused over what is an asset, and they will choose not to disclose things to their bankruptcy attorneys, which can really create major problems in their case or blow up their case completely because they were making assumptions that were simply not correct. Now, I'm going to tell you as a bankruptcy attorney, you want to err on the side of listening too much to your bankruptcy attorney and let your bankruptcy attorney tell you what's okay and what's not. So let's talk about what is an asset. So assets are obvious things like your home, your car, your jewelry, your watch, your furniture, your books, your couch, your bed, your appliances, your computer, your microphone. All of these things are assets. Bank accounts, retirement accounts. Now, some things that people don't really realize are assets, but are potential claims. So let's say you were in an auto accident and you were injured and you have an attorney to try to collect on your auto claim. Well, that's an asset. And that needs to be listed. And if you don't list it, you will not be able to collect your settlement. So things like that. And that's a common one that people just fail to mention, and it will, it can come back to bite you. So assets are very important when you're filing bankruptcy because that's one of the things that the court looks at to decide if you are going to be able to discharge your debts or if you're going to have to at least repay something back to your creditors. Now, you also need to be very, very aware that if your name is on something, and I don't care what the reason is, that's your asset too. And you see this a lot with folks, and I get it, especially, our parents are getting older, and they want to put your name on the property or put your name on the bank account just in case something happens to them. I get it, totally get it. However, when they do that, that asset becomes your asset too. That's a joint asset. So that can cause problems if you're having financial issues and you're trying to, let's say you want to file a Chapter 7 and you're getting ready to file and you don't own a house and you're like, oh, I just have all this debt I need to get rid of. But your mom put you on her house 2 years ago. Well, and the house is worth like $300,000. Well, you can't file, at least here in Georgia, you can't file a Chapter 7 if you don't want that house to get sold. So you would have to then do a 13 and repay, up to a certain amount of debt per an equity analysis. So that's really going to bite you in the butt. So you need to be aware if your name is on things like this. Now, let's say that your name is on your mom's property. You're like, oh, let me just do a quick claim deed and just stick it over there. No, can't. Well, you can do it, but you're going to have to then wait to file bankruptcy. And at least here in Georgia, you're going to have to wait a minimum of 4 years, maybe even longer if you have a business loan to the SBA or if you owe taxes. So there's a whole other analysis that goes on with that. So you really need to, sit down and make a list of your assets to ensure that when you, seek bankruptcy counsel, your attorney knows what they're working with. Because, if we get a surprise like that, there's nothing we can do other than, all right, let's make a deal, maybe dismiss a case. It's just things that you don't want to go through in your bankruptcy case, but you have to understand that these things are assets. And also another thing is interest in business. So if you are a partner in an LLC or a partnership or you own shares, these are all assets, and they have to be reflected. Some people think, oh, well, no, that's protected in a company. That's right, and they're the only member of an LLC. Well, you own the whole company. That has a value. That's an asset. So just be aware of those things and make sure you're disclosing this to your attorney so that we can counsel you on the best way to protect those assets and ensure that, whatever bankruptcy chapter you choose is the one for you. And that's the thing. I always tell folks, there's lots of different flavors of bankruptcy. It just depends on what you have going on. So, just be aware of what assets are, review with your attorney, and then that way we can decide what's the best course of action so that you can keep what you want to keep and hopefully not have to pay back what you don't want to have to repay back. If you have any questions about bankruptcy, at least here in Georgia, feel free to send me an email. My information is in the description below. Thanks so much.